You think she takes you for granted because she changed. But she didn't change. Her perception of you did. And the worst part? It wasn't sudden. It was a slow, silent, invisible decay of respect that you never saw coming. Today, you're going to hear the brutal, hard-to-swallow truth about why she takes you for granted. And it's not what you think. You didn't lose her attention. You handed it away. You didn't lose her respect. You gave her unlimited, 24/7 access to your energy, your time, and your validation. That's where it all started. And that's the one place most men never think to look. I was talking to a man recently, a good man. He told me, I do everything for her. I'm loyal, I'm consistent, I'm always there for her, no matter what. He paused for a second and then he said something that just hit different. He said, she treats me like I'm background noise. This man wasn't weak. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't toxic. He was invisible. And it wasn't because she was a cruel person. It was because he had unintentionally made himself completely predictable, constantly available, and emotionally wide open all day, every day. He had become a utility, not a presence. Here's the truth that no one ever warns men about. Women don't just decide to take men for granted out of the blue. They adapt to the value that you show them you have. When your attention is constant, when your time is unlimited, and when your emotional availability is completely automatic, your presence starts to lose its weight. It becomes lighter, less significant. This isn't because she hates you. It's not because she's evil. It's because your behavior has trained her nervous system to feel completely safe ignoring you. It's harsh, I know, but it's real. This is pure, unfiltered male psychology and the raw truth of relationship dynamics. Let's break it down in the simplest terms. Remember when you first met? When you were busy, focused on your goals, driven by your own purpose. She leaned in. She was curious. She was engaged. But then, when you started centering your entire life around her, making her the sun in your solar system, she leaned back. This wasn't a conscious decision on her part. It was instinctive. It was a primal response. Because real, lasting attraction is built on polarity, not on comfort. Men don't lose women because they stop loving them. They lose women because they lose their masculine frame. And once your frame collapses, so does her entire perception of you. The punchline is this: a man without boundaries eventually becomes a man without value in her eyes. And the scariest part is, you didn't even notice it happening. This is the part that men feel deep in their chest. You start feeling ignored, unseen, unwanted. So what do? You try harder. You give more. You explain your feelings over and over, hoping she'll finally understand. You chase her for clarity, for validation, for a sign that she still cares. And every single step you take forward in that direction lowers her respect for you even more. It's not because she wants to hurt you. It's because desperation is the absolute killer of polarity. And men don't recover naturally from this state. They just bleed out quietly, wondering what they did wrong, feeling more and more like a ghost in their own relationship. Now, I need you to listen very carefully. This is the critical moment. This is the point where a man either breaks completely or he wakes up. She doesn't take you for granted because she stopped loving you. She takes you for granted because you stopped being a challenge to her nervous system. You became safe. You became predictable. You became emotionally available on demand like a service. You single-handedly removed the tension, the mystery, the slight edge that made you magnetic in the first place. This is the reality of modern dating dynamics. This is how attachment actually works. And for most men, this is the moment where the brutal truth finally clicks into place. So now, I'm going to give you the reset. This isn't just theory. This isn't motivation. This is a concrete structure. Step 1. You must withdraw your emotional overexposure. Stop explaining your feelings all the time. Stop oversharing every thought and insecurity. Stop constantly seeking reassurance that she still loves you. Men who are grounded in their own power don't chase emotional validation from others, they observe. They are a calming, steady presence. Silence, used correctly, rebuilds the weight and significance of your words and your presence. Step 2. Rebuild your internal frame. Your life cannot, and I mean cannot, orbit a woman. It's a recipe for disaster. You need to have your own purpose, your own structure, and your own standards. This is not about punishing her. This is about respecting yourself. Your frame creates gravity, and gravity is what creates attraction. She needs to feel that your world is solid, with or without her constant approval. Step 3. Become scarce again, but without hate. This is key. You're not being cold. You're not being cruel or manipulative. You are simply becoming scarce. Your time becomes something that is earned, not just given away freely. Your energy becomes a valuable resource, not a free-for-all. This isn't revenge. This is a reset. This is how you reclaim your power and stop being taken for granted. Here's the thing most men won't admit, even to themselves. You weren't just being loving. You were being afraid of losing her. You weren't just being devoted. You were desperately trying to secure your position, to lock her down. And that fear, that subtle, needy energy, is what she felt. Not with logic, not with her thinking brain, but with her deep female instinct. And women do not respond to a man's fear. They respond to a man's grounded, solid presence. You don't need to talk more. You need to move differently. Listen closely to these truths. A man who is always available is slowly becoming invisible. Attention that is given freely and constantly loses its power. She doesn't disrespect you. She simply adapts to the standard that you set for yourself. And polarity dies the moment a man stops leading himself. These aren't just clever quotes. These are fundamental laws of attraction and respect. This video isn't about blaming or hating women. It's about empowering you to respect yourself. You don't become powerful by demanding her attention. You become powerful by controlling your own presence, your own energy, your own focus. She doesn't take you for granted because she's heartless. She does it because you forgot who you were before she became the center of your universe. And when a man forgets himself, the world and everyone in it will treat him accordingly. If this message hit you, if you felt a jolt of recognition, good. That means you're ready for a change. Because the next truth we need to talk about is even harder to accept. And most men are not ready for it. Stick around and subscribe because you're going to want to hear what's next. Thanks for watching.